Vivarium, Ireland's most thought-provoking, innovative and most ambitious film in years.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to Yonder, a wonderful development. It has all you'd need and all you'd want.
So many aspects of this film made it stand out. The casting was really A-list. Imogen Poots and Jessie Eisenberg. The director went for two very high quality actors, and also we had Eanna, Hardwicke, who was an up-and-coming Cork actor who played the role of the boy, the grown-up boy, extremely well. Very freaky and very unnerving. Combination of A-list actors and up-and-coming actors. Set design was incredibly well done here. You had your rows of absolutely identical houses, completely uniform throughout. So it was pushing the limits of that identical housing estate to the extreme. The film is quite unique in that, as far as I could tell, there wasn't a single costume change for the full 1.5 hours, which again sort of hammers home the whole drab, grey sameness of Yonder, which is the housing estate that the couple choose to live in. The concept is a very universal one, and it's the desire of a young couple to find a home. Some very innovative elements to the film also. You had the fractal imagery, which I'll talk about later, and that was a very fascinating sort of characters are voicing other characters throughout the film as well, which adds to the kind of surreal element of it. So the couple are trapped both metaphorically and physically within this weird, freaky housing estate of Yonder. The concept here is very universal in that it's a young couple's desire to find a home, start a home and start a family for themselves, which is a universal concept but quite unique to Ireland in some ways, in that we have a particular obsession with home ownership. Probably goes back to our famine days in 1845 to 1847. Before 1845, the population of Ireland was 10 million people. It's only 4 to 5 million people now. So during the famine, several million people died or emigrated, and mostly lost their homes, were forced out of their homes or evicted by the British. And ever since, we've had that everlasting legacy of the desire to own our own home and to possibly undo that baggage that we had for centuries. The name of the film is particularly interesting as well, Vivarium. Most film directors these days come under pressure to choose a bubblegum or popcorn type name for a movie, like Life is Great, or maybe in this case, Life is Pretty Crap. They stuck out with this name Vivarium, which means, and it's perfect for the film because it means a sort of a goldfish bowl where the subject is under artificial scrutiny. And this is a genius way to describe the film in one word: Vivarium. The plot of this film is the simple premise of a young couple, Gemma and Tom, trying to buy their own home. They're under pressure because their friends tell them that the market is about to explode, which sounds familiar. So they visit an estate agent who turns out to be a very mysterious, a sort of a blend of Alan Partridge. The estate agent is sort of the parody of that banal, generic sales speak. So when Tom asks him where is this housing estate Yonder, he says, it's not too far, not too near, it's in just the right location. Which is a very good parody of the estate agent kind of BS. So in the estate of Yonder, when they arrive, there is no community whatsoever. In fact, they're the only human beings in sight. There's an echo to the voices, so there's a sense of absolute emptiness, despair in the air.
What's happening?
They notice that there's no taste from the food, that Gemma remarks that she's never heard such silence. It's a land of fake plastic trees, in the words of Radiohead. It's a total generic, uniform estate where nothing is different, where nothing stands out, where nothing is imperfect. There's a plastic perfection about it. The estate agent abandons them and they find themselves alone in the estate, and when they attempt to escape, they find themselves trapped. And this is a constant metaphor throughout the film, that they're trapped both metaphorically and physically within Yonder, this perfect housing estate. And one of their sole refuges becomes the car that they arrived in. And it's funny, the Kilkenny reg on the car is kind of a reminder that this is an Irish film. Despite all the mid-Atlantic accents and the perfectly preened film set, this is an Irish film with an Irish car somebody bought in Kilkenny that drove up on set. And it's kind of nice to see that. In fact, one of the lighter moments is when they dance in the headlights of the car, and there's a very touching emotional moment where they remember the imperfections of their previous life, and it's a total rejection of that slick perfection of the life that they are forced to adopt in this new estate of Yonder, where the apples are shiny red and plastic, and yet there's no taste from the food. So this is a land where there is nothing interesting or unique to do, and they're forced to live incredibly banal, ordinary, grey lives. Tom finds refuge and distraction he feels he's found a glitch in the matrix when he sees something happen in the front garden, let's say. So this prompts him to dig and dig endlessly, and he uses this as a distraction. He also smokes, which is a sort of a rebellion against the plastic perfection and healthiness and vague plasticness of this land of Yonder. So Tom finds himself finding distraction in digging this huge hole, and the mound of earth that develops outside kind of reminds me of the Close Encounters mound, when the obsession becomes almost an insanity. Gemma has no option but to almost go native with the son that she rejects. I mean, she refuses to accept that she's his mother, but she attempts to try and understand him or try to interrogate him with little success. The use of fractals in the film is fascinating, and I'm certainly not going to reveal the significance of them here, and it's only a theory, but it's constantly there in the background. And I mean, the fractal nature of the design of the housing estate in order to pack in new houses, and other aspects in nature as well where fractals are used, and you have self-replication at different scales. It's fascinating imagery that's used in the film, which can have a lot of different interpretations, and it runs a constant thread throughout.
Number 9. Number 9 is not a starter home. This house is forever.
Plea for a boy?
Do you have children?
No. It's not exactly what we're looking for. That guy was so strange.
Yeah. Wait. No, I don't think this is the right way.
Yeah, this is the way we came in.
Number 9 again. Did we just do some kind of loop?
How have we just...
Want me to drive?
Such a joke.
Because I think this is not possible. We can't make turns like this over and over.
We have gone this way, Tom. Oh my god.
The film opens with the arresting image of a cuckoo usurping its host's nest. It's a particularly savage aspect of nature, and a particularly unusual aspect of a particular species, that the cuckoo will attempt to get a host to raise its offspring. And we see that in the opening of the film. And when the eggs of the offspring cuckoo hatch, the young cuckoo chick will grow rapidly and will attempt to forcibly evict the chicks of its host from the nest, which is a particularly brutal and selfish aspect of nature, and particularly this species. And it's a great image for the resulting film. And at the start, the opening scene, the egg lands on the ground and a child is upset at what's happened, and Gemma says to the child, "Don't be upset, this is just the way things are." And in a way that sets the scene for the entire film as well, that this is a portrayal of modern life, a dystopian portrayal of modern life. And in some ways the film isn't offering many solutions, and it doesn't attempt to offer solutions. It's just saying this is the way things are, and there doesn't seem to be a way out of it. Similar to the way that the couple can find no way out of this estate, that they're trapped both metaphorically and physically. So the image of the cuckoo and the metaphor of the cuckoo runs right through the film in a way. And similarly to the cuckoo's chick growing up very rapidly, we see the same in the film. The couple land in Yonder and are unable to escape from this housing estate, suddenly find themselves with a box at the front door, and inside the box is a child, a boy, who they're forced to adopt. This boy grows very rapidly and is a very freaky and mysterious character, and spies on them, an outsider and an enemy within. The mother rejects all suggestions that she is his mother. She says, "I am not your mother," to the child, which is quite a brutal but an understandable reaction.
It's a boy.
The ending of this film, I think, is particularly satisfying. There's become a trend recently to run the guillotine down on films and put an ending leading to a cliffhanger which is totally unsatisfying. That's become increasingly more common now, to just finish a film almost midway with no ending whatsoever, and to leave you dangling over a cliff without any ammunition whatsoever, without any sense of satisfaction. They don't fall into that trap here, thankfully. There were a number of moments where I feared they were going to end the film. There was about 2 or 3 moments where it could have ended, and I'm glad it didn't, because the ending certainly provides a bit more resolution and yet leaves as many questions as it does answers. Jessie Eisenberg is an A-list Hollywood actor. They were very fortunate to get him for this film, and he played the lead in the Facebook film The Social Network, where he played Mark Zuckerberg, the master of the universe. And here the tables are turned, where the universe is turned against him, and he's certainly a pawn.
Maybe they'll let us go.
What if they don't come? What are we supposed to do? Should we just sit here and we wait to die?
In this universe of yonder, which he despises. The acting is superb throughout by all actors, and Eanna Hardwicke, up-and-coming Cork actor, has secured a fantastic role here and has pulled it off spectacularly. Great acting by Imogen Poots in the role of Gemma, and she starred in the film 28 Weeks Later. Jonathan Arís plays the estate agent, who is almost Alan Partridge-like in parts, but superbly played, and he featured in a Black Mirror episode at one point, which would have been very suitable preparation for this film. Vivarium is very inspiring in many ways. It raises the bar. It's a very ambitious film. The concept is superb. Everything from set design to costume to the concepts and imagery in the film leads it to be a lot more ambitious than previous Irish films have. It's good to see an Irish film stretch itself to conquer new territory, while at the same time dealing with a concept of home ownership for young couples, which is a universal one and can be appreciated by viewers worldwide. Vivarium is going to be the opening film in the Dublin International Film Festival in March, or at the end of February, and Vivarium will be in cinemas across Ireland and internationally next month. So check it out then. Thanks, see you next time.
Little time for the child within you. Don't be afraid to be young and free. Run to the locks and throw away the keys and
All we wanted
run you.
was a home.
You are home.
You creepy little mutant.